So here we go then, stage 8 of the TugaZ Tour, the final race of the series. This is the Syco-list. Let's get on with it. So here we go then, this is race 8 of the TugaZ Tour, final one in this race series. Taking place on the 2022 Cycling Esports World Championship route in New York, which if you don't enjoy the New York KOM, then this isn't the course for you, as it's 3 times up the New York KOM and you finish at the top of it on the 3rd time round. So interesting little circuit, released back in 2021. Created for the UCI Cycling Esports Worlds in February 2022. It's 2.5 laps of the New York Knickerbocker route, ending at the top of the KOM, like I said. So this one's 54.7 kilometers in length, or 34 miles, 943 meters of elevation, or just over 3,000 feet. So an interesting course. Obviously with the mass start as well. I've just decided today that I'm not going to race this. I'm going to try and do this as a good zone 2 ride. Just find a nice group to sit with and sit in for the day. Get like an hour and a half's training done at zone 2. Sort of aiming to be around about 230 to 240 watts average for this one. Still making effort on the climbs and stuff, but I've already done an hour's ride before I've come into this race, so just trying to get the most of my training in. And as I'm currently about 30th in GC, I've got nothing really to contend with in the overall standing. So just decided to do this today as a zone 2 training ride, and stick with the groups as best I can as we go through, knowing that the 3 climbs are probably going to be enough for my legs. Consistency this week's been really good for me. I've raced all the events I can. I've had 1 rest day from this tour due to personal reasons, but other than that, even on the rest day Tuesday from the TugaZ Tour, I raced the WTRL team time trial. So this week I've put in just short of 300 miles on the bike, all indoors because the weather here in the UK is horrendous. So enjoying it, enjoying these tour series. This is the second one I've done now, following the Flamme Racing Tour of Britannia that I did recently. I like the way that they lay out and the way that they get you involved every day into it, and obviously it's a good test of your stamina to be able to manage it. I quite enjoy that in my training program. My coach probably thinks differently, but I've had some good power figures this week. Is where I want to be this time of the year, coming in towards the end of the year. Still in my winter training program, still pushing on for 2025. So yeah, just get on with this one. I've sped it up a little bit. I'm not going to do much of a voiceover on this one, purely because it's not really a lot to say. I'm not really racing for anything. I'll come back to it when we get to the bottom of the climb, and you can see how that goes for me. So here you go, just getting to the New York KOM now. 1.4 kilometers in length, averaging 6.5%. I've done it a few times recently in the WTRL. Managed it 4 minutes 22. I think that's it as my PR in the last month. Probably going to be looking to try and get under 5 minutes today on this. Like I said, not pushing it, not racing hard on it today. Just trying to keep the power figures where I want to, stay with the group that I'm in, and just get through a good hour and a half on the bike really, and finish off a really productive week. So yeah, just sitting in the ramps on this, 10-11% in places. It does flatten out in a little while, you just get a bit of respite in. But I think it's just the fact that going up this at this point, knowing that I've got to do it another 2 times, and obviously the finish is at the top of it. It's quite mentally hard to take, but I quite easily could have decided to DNS this morning, not start this race, but that's not my mentality. I signed up to the Tour Series knowing that I wanted to do all of it, so got on with it this morning, did my hour before this race, and then set myself up to get this race done as well. So sitting in well, just coming to the top of that KOM then, over the top of that one. No PR for me, but just over 5 minutes, happy with that. Make the descent, get a bit of recovery in now, have a spin around New York before we come back and do it again. So just coming around to the lap banner here, is where the race pens we started in are on our left here. The group that I'm in, good group of sort of my category riders, well represented with the TugaZ riders around us as well. So it's nice sitting around that sort of 85th place in this pack, which is quite nice. Not really pushing on, not really looking to do anything more. Just sitting in and hoping that I can stay within the wheels today, and if I can stay and finish around 85th, something like that, I'd be quite happy with that. Probably end up in about 30th place in my category or something if I stay around these sorts of numbers. That's how I've worked it out. But like I say, I'm not pushing for GC anymore, or I wasn't anyway. So yeah, just get this race done, tick it off. It's not a course I've done before, and it's a good test of the legs, so just crack on with it. So this group's working really well together. No one's really pushing it or doing anything like that. So just moved to the front here, and obviously all back together. So sort of still sitting around that 80th place. And then as I come around the bend in a minute, all chaos breaks loose in the pain cave as my laptop switches off. So in a minute you'll notice that I lose the recording, which is an absolute nightmare, because not only do I lose recording on my laptop, I lose all of my TV screens as well, which are linked to my laptop. So by the time I get everything sorted, obviously I've been able to ride without my Zwift screen being present, but I've just had to manage being on the pedals and everything. And then my partner brought out my charger for my laptop, so we managed to get some charge back in my laptop, get my screens back on, and then I've noticed the group that I've been with for quite some time are nearly a minute down the road from me, and I'm all on my own. Riders behind me about 35 seconds behind me, and I've got 52 seconds to the group in front. So whilst I've been able to keep pedaling and Apple TV's still been running, I've not actually been able to see the screen because of the setup in the garage. Everything runs through my laptop. Although I run Zwift on Apple TV, the way it records is through my laptop. So as soon as my laptop shut down, it shut down the TV screen, so I couldn't see my Zwift screen. But as I sort of was doing it as a training ride, I've just stayed on the pedals, and as soon as I've been able to get the laptop switched back on and charged again, I've started the recording again. But as you can see, I've lost about 30 minutes of this race. But we've got just under 8 kilometers to go, and that group are about 46 seconds ahead of me. So I made a decision in a minute that I'm going to try and bridge this. I'm going to try and get back to that group of riders that I was working with. So here I just put the pedals down, trying to get it down 40 seconds, staying on it. And on this climb down here, I just think, right, just go for it. If I don't make it across, then I've got nothing to lose. But I attack this climb and I've got them down to 20 seconds away from me now. So I'm just going to stay on the pedals, keep going until I can get them on sight. And as soon as I can see them, then I'll just push on to get to them. So as I turn this corner, there they are in front of me, 7-8 seconds ahead of me now. I just stay on those pedals, push on the descent, and before too long, I'm back with them. So I've gained back the 55 seconds that I had lost on them whilst I had no screens. So I'm back with them now. So now it's just a case of quick bit of recovery, stay with them, and see how this goes towards the finish. With 5k to go, I've bridged that minute gap that I had to this group, bridged that well, and now I've just got to sit in this little group of 5 and see if we can get home safely. So position wise, 75th, 76th, something like that out of 185, obviously all mixed categories, so overall result will be different towards the end, but at the moment happy that I've made the effort to bridge this gap, get across to them after my technical issues, and we've got the final climb of that KOM to do now. So as we come around here, someone's just pushed off the front, so I'm just going to try and close this down. 2 have got away, they've got a second or 2 in off the front, so I'm just going to try and bridge across to that one now. Not wanting to lose any time to any rider in my category, and it looks like one of these riders is actually in my category, so just trying to limit the damage. I think it's A Rother is in my category, so just trying to cover that move by him, and get ready for that final climb. Looks like we've distanced ourselves with that little attack that they've put in, which I've just bridged across to. We've put 11, well, nearly 15 seconds into the other 2 riders in our group, so we've become a 3 now. So the 3 of us are going to attack this KOM for the final time together. One's in my category, the rider in the yellow, and the rider on the Tron bike is not in my category, so I don't have to worry too much about that rider. So yeah, just sit in and get this climb done with them. So as we move through some of these steeper sections, it's a bit of cat and mouse here. Keep swapping who's at the front and who's not. So I just had a quick look on Zwift Power, and the rider Emsley is actually a C category rider. But yeah, it looks like he's put in a really good effort, because he finished on the Zwift Power standards in 9th in his category. So well done to him. He's had a really good ride on this one, and not making it easy for me here either. So still pushing across to him with the final climb to come. It's just my decision now to attack this final rise to the finish line and see if I can get that place back. Which, there you go, attacked over the top and get to the finish line. So there you go, I finish at 34th place with 231 watts average. So there you go then, the TugaZ tour is complete. Managed to race 7 out of the 8 stages over the last 9 days. Happy with that. It's been a great series, thanks for organising it. Be back for the next one for sure. If you've liked this video, please click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.